to all those parents out there that have a child that was just like you, what could those parents do different that would have helped you when you were struggling through all this stuff?
Just listen to your kid. Don't assume things. Don't assume how they're feeling. Just ask them. Just talk to them. Don't try to get it out of them. Just be easy on them. Don't push them to do things they don't want to do. Like, don't push them into counseling, and don't push like Christianity on them. Like, that's a big thing for me. Yeah, just listen to them is a big thing. Just ask them how they actually feel.
Karlee, thanks for coming in and sitting down. Okay, you're smiling and you're just kind of bubbly, and it wasn't that way when you first came to Heartlight, was it?
No.
Well, okay, if you had to describe what was going on, what was happening in your life then?
I was very broken. A lot of things was happening at my dance studio, at my new school. I was getting bullied. I just had a lot of problems with guys. Like, I've always just struggled with needing, like, the affirmation. And this year was when I really started acting on that, like, I guess, like, there was, like, a hole in my heart, and I felt like I needed to fill it with something, and I didn't know what to fill it with, and so I kind of just went to guys and getting attention from them, and so I was, like, sneaking out a lot.
Yeah.
It was more of a coping skill. Like, my parents say it was an addiction, but I don't really feel like it was an addiction. I feel like I used it just to, like, throw away my pain and pretend like it wasn't there. And, yeah. Okay,
so you're saying throw away the pain. What pain was in your life that you needed the affirmation of all these guys?
I feel like it was partially from my adoption, feeling like I wasn't good enough for my parents. Also, I grew up in a really, like, strict household. Like, my dad expected a lot from me, still does. I really never felt like I was going to live up to my dad's expectations. He's a pastor. He's 70, and so he's very stuck in, like, his old beliefs. And, yeah. And, yeah, just, like, perfectionism. I always went to private school, had to be kind of, like, put on this perfect show all the time. And I'm a dancer, too, and so performance was always a big thing. And also, like, piano, singing, just... I always, like, had to be perfect. And
so you performed well?
Yes.
Okay, so you could carry on a kind of a good look and a good attitude, and
yeah.
But inside, it was a little different.
Yeah, I have a lot of anxiety. I get really easily stressed out.
About?
Just everything. Like, I just worry about everything. I go home and I try to go to bed, but I can't stop worrying about things. Not as much now. I think it's gotten better because of meds and because of, like, being here.
Yeah,
but, like, back home, like, I never slept. I was always just thinking about and worrying about what everyone thought about me. Scared that, like, my dad was going to one day end up, like, making me leave or something. And so I feared that a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay,
so, I mean, all that anxiety and the fear, not sleeping, you dealt with it by going out and getting with guys. Yeah. And that was your distraction. I mean, somebody else goes out and smokes pot all the time. Somebody else goes out and drinks all the time. Somebody else does more and more performance and covers up all the things. But at what point did you start to realize, okay, this isn't working?
Probably, like, a couple weeks before I came to Heartlight, I realized that nothing was working. I wasn't getting any happier. Like, whenever I was by myself and, like, I wasn't with a guy, I was just sad. And I started to realize that. I was like, okay, this is the only thing that's really helping me, and, like, this isn't how it works. Like, all of my friends don't need this. Like, why am I the only one that needs this kind of, like, validation and this kind of, like, self-worth? Because my self-worth was so bad and my self-esteem was really low. Yeah, probably, like, a couple weeks before I came here, I started to really realize it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you got here, was it a sense of disappointment or what?
I remember my parents telling me about it on the ride here, and I was like, oh, this is good. This is what I need, but I didn't know it would be this hard to, like, face my problems. I was motivated at the beginning, but a couple months in, I was just starting to feel like I felt like there's not really a way to change something, like a problem that I have. And I still kind of struggle with that. Like, I'm trying so hard, and sometimes I feel like, okay, like, sometimes I want to give up, and I know that, like, giving up isn't going to, like, help. Like, that's not going to do anything for me. And so, I mean, it it kind of relieved me whenever I found out that my dad was trying to give me help, because I was like, okay, he actually like cares. Because for a long time I thought that my dad didn't actually care about how I felt. I thought he just wanted me to like go by his rules. And so it was kind of a relief.
So that you could look good.
Yeah.
And because he's a pastor, so that you can look good in his eyes, and you can do all the things that he thinks you need to do.
Pretty much,
But the realization comes that maybe he really does care for you.
Yeah.
He just loves you in a different way. Okay, your adoption thing. Do you think back on that? And, I mean, in the process of working through some of your stuff here, have you looked back on that and realized that that's been a big part of these feelings that you've had?
I have a little bit. I had a group about adoption, and whenever I went in, I was like, this isn't going to help me. Like, I don't feel affected by my adoption at all. But I found out that like a baby's two fears are falling and being abandoned. And I was abandoned at a really young age. And so I'm thinking back, and I feel like that could probably tie into some of my like abandonment issues.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been like trying to think about that and ask more questions like to my parents. And I met my biological mom, and I want to like at least talk to her at some point and ask her.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. I was really young. I was like 13. I don't really remember exactly how it was.
Okay, when you look at yourself, how you were when you first came to Heartlight, and you look at yourself now, what difference do you see?
I feel like I have more confidence. I don't rely on as much, like, I don't feel like I need validation from other people as much. I feel like I can be okay with how I feel about myself and not need to be like, how do I look? Like, how am I doing? I used to really rely on like what my dad would tell me, like if he was proud of me. That was where I based my self-worth. And I've just kind of had to learn that I'm not always going to get that, and I need to learn to love myself, and I can't love anyone else unless I love myself.
Yeah.
And so, I feel like my confidence has grown a lot, and I've also like learned how to manage me and my dad's kind of like differences in our beliefs, because I know that it's never going to be like my dad's going to completely change in what he thinks, because he is older and he does have a lot of beliefs that...
Well, because how old are you?
I'm 16.
Now you're 16 and he's 70 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
That is 54 years of difference. That's 2 generations.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, that's a long, long time. And of course there's going to be those differences. I mean, I would be concerned if there weren't differences.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you get to talk to a lot of people that are watching this and hearing this, and to all those parents out there that have a child that was just like you, what could those parents do different that would have helped you when you were struggling through all this stuff?
I would say just listen to your kid. Don't assume things. Don't assume how they're feeling. Just ask them. Just talk to them. Don't try to get it out of them. Just be easy on them. Don't push them to do things they don't want to do. Like, don't push them into counseling and things that they just are against. Don't push like Christianity on them. Like, that's a big thing for me. Just listen to them is a big thing. Just ask them how they actually feel.
Where do you land on all that? I mean, if he's a pastor and do you feel like it's been shoved down your throat, or that you have to live that way? So where does that place you now?
It has definitely pushed me away from God. But I feel like here I've found God for myself, and I've been able to learn about it on my own and read the Bible and get my perspective, instead of my dad just saying, this is what it means, this is what it says, like this is what God wants you to do. And so it definitely did for a while push me away from God, and it pushed me away from my dad. It pushed me away from everything about God. Yeah. And I just wish that maybe he would have taken a different route into teaching me, being like, giving me more of an option than just like forcing it on myself, you know? Yeah. So.
Well, we are so proud of you. You've come a long, long way. You are not the same person.
Thank you.
Than when you first got here. And thank you so much for coming in and sharing with us.
Thank you.
You bet. You bet.